Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. We're marching on the finch. I've burnt both sides. I showed you that on the last video where I showed you how to burn this side, and I did the other side. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to put the mantle in, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll mark the other side. And actually what we're going to do is put little areas of the feathering so that they're like groups. And if we group it, then you can start developing with inside of it. So let me show you how to do that, and I'll bring the camera down and we can follow on. Okay, we're back. What I'm going to do now is getting the bird in this position where it's facing your left-hand side. To get that side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these lines in. I don't know if you can see them, but I put them in real lightly, and they arc around, and you're wondering, where do they go and how do I get them there? So what I'm doing is I'm having these up a little bit so you can see them. And what I want to do is I'm going to give you measurements from the tail up. And we're talking as if I was looking at this in profile. So I'm measuring this straight up. And I'm going to the first location of this one right here. I hope you can see that. And what I'm going to do is measure up from the tail 3 3/4 of an inch, and I put a dot there. And then I measure from that on the wing. I measure back 3/8, and I put a dot. And then I measure another 3/8, and I put a dot right there. Okay, so we're 3 3/4 of an inch up, and we put a dot there, 3/8 back, dot, another 3/8 back. Now, when we come up to the top, we have this mantle showing here that we undercut and relieved. So what I want to do now is measure up let's see, oh, I'm sorry, not measure up, but I'm going to measure out from laying my ruler on the center line, and as I come up, I'm going to use the distance out 5/16. So 5/16 from this line out where it touches that mantle, this undercut area that we had. I'm going to measure that, and it puts a dot right there. So I get a dot there. And then what I'm going to do is measure up from that dot, again, along the mantle. I got 5/16 again. And that measures from here to here. And I put a dot. And then 1/4 of an inch up from that, I put another dot. Now, what I'm doing is arcing this around. And if I drew a line just to start the first one here, real faintly, not that I want it there, but as a reference, and you're trying to determine the arc. The arc is worth about 1/4, well, not quite 1/4 of an inch. It looks like 3/16 from about here out. So if you put a dot 3/16 right about here, out, then what you're doing is you're arcing it over to that spot, and then you're down to this one. And then all these are going to mimic this, basically. It's going to come out and down. Now, this one is doing the same thing. You come out and then down. Now, notice this is bigger up here, and it gets smaller down here. And that's the way we want that. Okay, so just letting you know that. Or I'm sorry, this one, not this one. This was a quarter, and this was 5/16 down here. So that's because the feather grouping starts larger here, and then it gets smaller as you go up. Now, on the other side, to expedite things, what we're going to do is we're measuring from the tail up to the wing, where we undercut the wing, and we come up and we got 4 inches. So I'm going to ask you about 3 7/8, and not 3 3/4 like it is on the other side. And then what I'm going to do is go 3/8 and put another dot, and 3/8 again, put another dot, and we're doing basically the same thing we did on this side up here. We're doing the same thing again. We're coming up 5/16, put a dot, and then 3/8 up, and then a quarter. I believe that it was 5/16, and then a quarter. Okay, and let's see, did I get a little generous here? Yeah, almost. I could pull this in a little bit more. I think I measured a little longer. That's 5/16. We swing out and down. And on these, we're doing this. We're connecting up again. And we're doing this one. And we take that down to there. Okay, now I'm going to erase this reference, that little one, just to give you the first arc. Okay, now I'm going to show you one that I marked up already. And this area in here are what I call C's. The C is pointing up towards the head. And here's your C right here. They're just grouping the feathers. And what I want to do is mark out what goes into the mantle, which is this raised section right here at the moment. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to come in, and we have a bunch of them on the head, but these are going to be a little larger. So I'm going to start out with a C, maybe not quite 1/8 of an inch. And they're going to be pointing this way, and then as they come around like this way. So let me show you. I'll start with that one and that one. Then I'll come down here just to get a couple going in here and here. And then right in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another feather right here, almost. And notice I'm going to come in with the C's here, and I just got a little larger as the first one. And then I'm going to come back and make this a little further back, and then this one a little further back, and then this one a little further back, like so, just to get those in. The rest of them, we're going to fill it in. So we're going to come in here like this, and then I want to do the same thing on the other side. And let me just put a pencil line in there so you can see this mantle as it stands, and that's what this area is called right here. So I'll start over here and put a couple of C's going in this direction. Then I'll make like a little bigger one, but the ones up here, I don't want to graduate them too fast, but they'll get there. Then I'll put one in here. And notice I'm not doing a zip, 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 loop the loop. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to break it up. Now, as we said, I'm like I did on the other side, I'm just spacing these and getting a little larger as I come back, but not real large, not real long. So I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill that out. And I'm going to hit that one. And this could become random. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You can have a couple small ones in there, or large ones, but notice the direction that goes this way, and then the C's go this way a little bit. Same way on here, they go this way, and then they come towards the center, they go straighter back. So I get larger as I go back, and these just start growing a little bit bigger as we go. And I'll sneak one right in here. I'll get one in here. Then I'll get one that comes in here. And then this will be the last one right in there. Okay? So we got that grouping done. And that should take care of the mantle. Now, we have these small feathers right in here. And I want to show you that with this finished one here. So you can see we have similar ones like the small ones here. So I'm going to pocket this over here with these smaller feathers. So again, I'm going to sort of aim my C's towards the beak if I'm looking for direction here. And I'm just filling in the area. I'm coming in, and I'm not getting real big with these. I'm staying basically the same size. They're probably a little, around 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less across the C. If they get a little bigger, it ain't gonna hurt. So I come up to this, is like, this area is like a guideline to keep in a certain area. So I don't want to go beyond it. So I just sort of fill in the area. If I get close enough, I'm good. If not, I'll just tuck one in right in there like that. And it's not the same size. So we basically filled that in. Now, what I want to do is the next grouping. The next grouping is about 5/16 from about here over. So I'm going to draw a feather like this, and from here to here it's about 5/16. Then I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch from this one to here, and then I'm going to piggyback right onto that. Okay. Then I'm going to come up another 1/4 of an inch. That's from here to here, and then spin this around to there. Then I'll get, let's see, about another one right here. And then, you know what, I'm looking at this. Let me take it back. I'm going to show you some corrections because I'm looking at my spacing and I'm getting a little crazy there. So let me do this. I'm going to bring that back a little bit. I still want 3/16 coming across here, but I'm going to take this down. I think I got a little too big in there. Then it's about 1/4 up, and I spin that around. 1/4 up, I spin that around. That's 2. Yep. Stops right there. Then a quarter right here. And then about another quarter right there. And then you get this one that tucks in right along the mantle. Okay, now that's the second grouping. Now this takes a third grouping in here, and this is going to go like this. We are going to have, and you could somewhat see it here. This is the first grouping right here, and then this is the second grouping, and then let's see, the third grouping. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped it. This is the first grouping up to here. This is the second grouping right here. And this is the third grouping right here. So I'm going to get the third grouping in. And what we're going to do is, I'm looking at one I have done here, but I'm just going to see if I could get this one in. This one here is going to come off right here, and it's about a quarter of an inch. So you're coming up and around. Now notice the direction we're going here now. It's important that the layouts of this is going the direction of the feathers. Notice we came from the bottom up, now we're starting from the top down. So we got 2, and they're about a quarter, well, a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch apart. And we send that one down. And then I spin this one around, then this one around, this one around, and then we get this one in, and then this is the last feather right at the end there. So that is our grouping right there. So I'm going to ask you to do that on this side and put them in and give it a shot. And if you needed to see what it looked like, again, these are all small feathers. Let's see how much time we got here. I'm trying to keep within a certain time frame here. So you're doing smaller feathers in here, and then you're starting out down here with the bigger one, and this is coming around like this, and then this one's piggybacking off of that, and then this one comes around here like that, and so on. And then the third row is going this way, and it's going to come out here. This will be the biggest and showiest one because it comes up and around. And then you're about a little more than 1/8 of an inch apart, and you're going down this way. So you're from the bottom up on the second row, and you're the top going down, okay? So if you could do that, then on the next video, I'll show you how to burn all these areas in, and you have them marked out, and we'll go from there on that and make sure that this will look correct. But you could see the look you can get from the burn. And one of the things I wanted to show you, if I can, and that is, bear with me 1 second. These pens here are perfect for that. And let me show you. Optimal One makes these pens, and these are a spear shape. So when you go in you're burning in on the leading edge and lifting as you come out. And this is ideal for that type of look. So if you're interested in any of the pens, these will adapt to a Colewood or to, what's the name? An Optima. A lot of units out there it will adapt to. And I really recommend the spear shape one for this effect if you're looking for it. I'll show you the other pen that I use, which is this one here. And this is like a knife blade one. And this is I think it's a P12S. And this is great for line work, for quills and stuff like that. But I just wanted to introduce you to that pen. So if you're looking for any of those pens, I do have them available. I hope you got something out of this. And I hope I didn't confuse you too much with the measurements and all. And hope you can achieve that. And I'll go over it again on the next video. But give it a shot. Try it. And you can see how the C's are pointing. They're this way in the center, and they're sort of going this way, and they're going this way. And the same way with the feathers, they're going in a certain direction here, and that's something you want to keep in mind. And you do see it somewhat here, but the biggest problem with them being in a flat surface and different on a rounded one, I can't draw it exactly what it's going to look like over here, but we give it our best shot, okay? And this is how it would turn out. This is two-dimensional, and this is three-dimensional. So I hope you got something out of this one too. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And we'll take you on the journey of marking this all out, and I'll show you how to do that on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye now.